Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Lee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my late review. This is T.I. and Tiny, Friends and Family Hustle. This is season 1, episode something. I can't see what episode it is. We're going to move it on through. It was in the description box. Not in the description box. It was in the title, so it's fine. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. Dun 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 dun, and all that goodness and stuff. I'm still unpacking, so yes, I'm still wearing the same shirt. Don't judge me, judge yourself, okay? Let's all censor ourselves and stuff, okay? Do not forget to also like, comment, and share this video, to subscribe to my channel, to follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. You know what's not on the screen or whatever, but look in the description box because all the links to my social medias are here. And if y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. And if y'all don't know, when y'all don't see me on YouTube, you can find me on my IG and on my Twitter, because that is where you can get all of the updated information, okay? Now, let's get started on this stuff. We see Zanika. Zanika has been working on new music, okay? She's working on new music for over a year, okay? Since probably season 1 of this damn show, whatever. And she's like, I just want to, try to find my own sound. What my, thing is. I'm saying, I feel like people don't really take me serious as an artist. And I said, I don't. And the reason I do not take her serious because I do feel like she don't know herself yet, and she's still looking for other people to find out who she is musically. And I feel like until you don't have to ask people so much about what you should do, could do, and would do, you ain't found yourself yet. So I can't take you too serious. And all of her songs seem basic. Like a basic beat, a basic hook, a basic, you know what I'm saying? It's not any different than anything else I'm seeing out here. So I'm like, I don't know what you're doing or whatever. So we see, Regine, Monica, and Tiny come to the studio to kind of help her pick her first single out of these songs that she's been working on or whatever. Now, in the studio, she played 2 songs. She played a bop song, which to me is like a fast-paced, similar song or whatever. And then she played a slow song, okay? Now, her mama and Regine like the fast song because I think they both stop pockets, okay? And that's a summer anthem. You say it can be How Girl Summer Anthem or whatever. I'm like, little top pockets, okay? And then Monica, I think I like the slow song because I feel like, people don't even really know that Zanika can really sing. And that's true as well. The song that she's put out, to me, does not showcase her voice or even her talent, okay? It's usually with somebody featured on it. It's some auto-tune stuff. It's some Let's Be Dancing Around stuff. You don't see that she's an actual singer. She has an actual voice. In the slow song, you can hear, I'm like, even I said, damn, she can sing. I didn't realize that she could sing, because I know Tiny can really sing too. Or at least she could, that. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay, that second song would show her in a different light. It would show her as, oh, she's an artist who can really sing and who's trying to do something, not just T.I. and Tiny daughter who can put a beat on and, rhyme some words and play some auto-tune or whatever and make it be a stripper. The basic things, okay? Anyway, so, she like, you know what, I'm going to have a little show. I'm going to have a little showcase or whatever. Now I invite, a little few people or whatever to hear both songs. And they can kind of help me decide which song should be my single. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now we then see T.I. T.I. had a meeting for his podcast. This is before the podcast came out or whatever. And he's bringing Messiah with him. He said, the reason I bring my kids to different meetings is for them to see that nobody is successful on their own. It takes a whole team. So they come to my meeting, they see who else I'm working with, whatever, who helps me be who I am or whatever. I said, that's a good thing. In that aspect, he's a good father, okay? Anyway, he brings up, I'm doing a podcast because I feel like, social media is not big enough for my antics and my opinions. I agree. T.I. say too much on the social media. I feel like if you have that much of opinion, get you a show where you can voice those opinions as eloquently as you want to, because sometimes you can't say what you need to say properly and 60 seconds or less, okay? And we don't want no long, drawn out IG. I hate IG stories that be like 4-5. I'm like, if you don't make a goddamn IG HTV thing or whatever, I don't want to keep clicking through this shit. Damn it. Anyway, so that's what they're gonna do. I feel like, having interesting discussions is a good thing. I do feel like having interesting topics and interesting people to have different discussions, different opinions on things are great, okay? However, T.I. is so closed-minded, I don't feel like if he was to have a conversation with somebody who had a different opinion than his, he could take in any difference of his opinion. And I'm not saying that he should change his opinion, but I do feel like in some things his thinking is off. And sometimes he does not listen enough to realize, yo, thinking off, bro. You're thinking off. Anyway, we then see him and Tiny at the house or whatever, Tiny with the little girl, Eris, doing some work or whatever, T.I. come in. And I asked, Daddy, can we go, Easter egg hunting? And she like, well, it ain't Easter. No, I mean, when it is Easter, he like, okay, but you do know the Easter bunny don't lay Easter eggs. Shh, yes, they do, Daddy. Shh, she don't want to hear. He's like, see, this is why I need a podcast. Because people need to know the facts. Kids don't need to know the Easter bunny don't lay eggs. She 3. Or 2, I'm not sure. Let the little girl think what she want to think. Let her think the tooth fairy. Let her think whatever shit is she needs to think. Okay, leave it at that. But Tiny agree. I'm saying, all right, cool. I'll bring a little podcast so we can chit or the chat or whatever and see where it goes from there. I say that didn't go much of anywhere in my opinion. Anyway, we then see Toya and Tommy. Okay, that's little Toya. Toya and Tommy at the little store shopping for the baby, okay? Not the new baby, the little 1-year-old baby, and everything, just getting some things. And, she then brings up how she booked them a therapy session, like they had been discussing the last couple episodes, okay? They had been talking about it. They had went to John Gray and his wife about it. They had suggested, I need some real clinical counseling for marriage or whatever. He agreed. He wanted to do what he wanted it to be set up. He was upset when they couldn't set it up because she had work to do. She's like, baby, I set up the appointment for us to do marriage counseling. This fool then say, what? Well, you didn't tell me. You didn't talk to me about before doing. I'm like, y'all have been talking about it for like 2-3 episodes. Like y'all have had a full, unless this happened before and the editing is off, y'all have had ample conversation about that and agreed to do. I'm like, nigga, what is the Twilight Zone? What's going on here? Okay. And she's like, oh. Because he's like, you can't be doing things. You can't just be setting up appointments and not talking. I'm like, but y'all had already talked about it and agreed to it. His thing is, I'm a private person. I don't want people out of my business. Then you should not be married to LaToya Luckett, okay, of Destiny's Child fame and her own solo fame at that. And the actress at that too, okay? You should not be married to a person who was in the spotlight, and let alone who was on a reality show, if you are that private, okay? And something in me feels like Tommy like to put on a good front. And that's why Toya said last episode how sometimes she don't like feeling like they putting up a front. I feel like Tommy wants to put up that front because he don't want nobody in his business, okay? But you can't be that way on a whole reality show. When you do that, we end up not liking you. A little bit of me is not liking Tommy. A little bit of me is not liking him because I feel like he's a hypocrite. I feel like you marry somebody in the spotlight. You own a reality show, but you don't want people in your business. That don't make not damn bit of sense, okay? And then y'all, discuss going to counseling, but you keep telling her how she should have discussed it with you as if, for why? Porque if y'all have already discussed it, okay? But I digress. So they go to counseling, okay? They go to counseling or whatever, and it was, a married couple or a man and a woman counselor. I can't think of their names or whatever, Jesus. But it was a man and a woman counselor talking to them both. And even I felt at ease just watching the session and watching how I felt like the therapists were listening to both Toya and Tommy. So Toya says first, how, I feel like, I have been consistently, fighting for a space or a place in his life for him to put me before something. You know what I'm saying? When I first, because nothing came before his daughter. Okay, nothing came before his daughter. And that was fine. Then, after his daughter is his mama. Okay, then this is his mama, and then she's sick or whatever. So, we had that thing. Then it was his work. Okay, then some other things, and then it was me. Meaning, I'm not saying I have to be first, but why are you consistently always putting other things before me? And then she said, when I tried to voice my concerns about how I just feel about things, he snaps at me. And when he snaps at me, I just shut down and I don't say nothing. And I'm like, in those aspects, I don't like Tommy because I can see him doing that even within the show. We see those little moments or whatever. And you also see Toya shut down. In this store, when he said, you need to talk to her, she shut down. Honey, a whole shutdown. And I feel like their marriage is going to take a lot of flack this season. Tommy is going to take a lot of flack this season. And if this show gets another season, I hope Tommy is watching this and seeing how he is coming off and seeing how his reactions to Toya affect her. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that helps him edit himself, because sometimes you have to see yourself in action in order to edit your actions. And I'm like, I don't think Tommy has seen himself in action like he's gonna see himself in action this season. Okay, anyway, so the therapist, the female therapist said, you don't feel validated. You don't feel that your concerns are validated because of how he reacts to your concerns. Like, he just doesn't, he doesn't care about them. The male therapist then says to Tommy, you can't, this was a word. He said, you can't react and respond at the same time because it doesn't work. If she's voicing her concerns to you and you are reacting because you're upset at what she said, so your response is kind of overshadowed by your reaction. And it makes her feel less than. It makes her feel like you don't care about how she feels. And, a piece of me didn't like him looking at the therapist smiling. A bit of me felt, does Tommy put on a smile because he don't want people to see how he really feels? Because some people are not okay with being openly emotional. Whether the emotion is anger, happiness, or whatever it may be. Anger, happiness, sadness, whatever it could be. Some people aren't okay with that, and they mask it with they're always smiling. Even though on the inside, that ain't how they feel. And so something within me felt like, I don't like him. I want to know how he really feels about what's being said, but I digress. So Tommy does say that, well, being there has helped open my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I know that I need to work on how I communicate with my wife. I see that just within this conversation. He then says how for him, his upsetness with Toya, and I felt like this was a petty thing to bring up, but I mean, it isn't petty if that's how he feels. He said, it upsets me that she's, her time management, she's always late for whatever we doing. That's me too. That's me too. And then she was like, well, I understand that, and he has voiced that to me, but she's like, I'm late usually just for myself. So now we got Gianna, our 1-year-old, plus his daughter Matt. So if I'm getting myself ready and both girls, I have to do their hair, you know what I'm saying? He'll come in and he'll be upset and he'll be, cussing, fussing, whatever. I'm gonna leave you, and all these things or whatever. I don't see why he doesn't offer to help me. Like, you coming in, seeing that I'm running late, but you're not asking, how can I help you not be running late? He then gets defensive. Well, you can't say that because I helped too. Or, you know what I'm saying? And all you do is, and the doctor say, what did you hear her say? And he realized that he was reacting and responding at the same time. He like, oh, you know what? Okay. He said, well, I heard her say, you know what I'm saying, that instead of me cussing and fussing and telling me how I'm going to leave her, or I'm going to go somewhere without her or whatever, I need to ask her, well, how can I help you? And I say, see, but it was a thing of he was so quick to respond to her, he didn't even react to what she said. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Anyway, but even them stopping him and asking him what did he hear, it helped him realize what was going on. He calmed down. And they both say how they feel like they can both work through their issues with these therapists or whatever, and they'll come back with some homework the therapist gave them. I felt like it was very, they needed that. Toya, and this is Toya, Lil Wayne's ex-wife. Her daughter about to be 2. Okay, cute. You know what I'm saying? She brings up how she, felt like when she had Reginae so young, she wasn't really able to enjoy it because she was so young. But now with Rain, it's a little bit more enjoyable. Probably because you're not poor. And you're not, with Lil Wayne, who out here slanging and banging or whatever. But I digress. So we do see her talking to her sister. Toya's whole thing, I feel like Toya's scenes are repetitive. Whereas everyone else may still be dealing with the same thing, but it's still a bit of progression. Toya's whole thing is her and her father. He wasn't a good daddy. He's not around as much as he should be. And she feel like he need to be more active in his kids' and grandkids' life. And at this point, she talking to her sister about it. I think this, blah, 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 blah. Now, we know the sister was raised by their aunt. The sister was not raised by the mama or their daddy. So, she's a bit different. But the sister has been going to get to know the father recently. Okay. But Toya feel like, I know it won't be easy or whatever, but I guess we can try to make it work with me getting closer with daddy. And then, the sister then FaceTimes Toya and the daddy there. And so Toya felt a little bit ambushed or whatever, but she still, she still chit-chat with him or whatnot. And you're like, oh, yeah, so good talking to my 2 daughters. Like, but Dad, you got more than 2 daughters. Do you know how many kids you got? He's like, I got, he can't remember, he can't recall all his children. I'm like, you got that many kids? Lord Jesus. Anyway, she's like, well, I'm going to be in town, in a little bit. For the, the trial or whatever, so I'll see you then. And that was really it. I mean, every week she said the same thing. He ain't around. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. But I'm going to see him in New Orleans. Well, holla at me in New Orleans. Okay. Anyway, we see Monica was real simple too. You know what I'm saying? She's still going through divorce. And so she said, I need to keep my mind busy and stuff because I got a court date coming up, whatever, this divorce and blah, 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 blah. So Monica has been trying to stay busy and do fun things with girls or whatever. So her and the girls went to this little thing. What was it? I got a little picture. They was out in these streets up on a little pole. Okay, here you go, right? I don't know what it's called, okay, but it's this. You see this when you're up on the sheets or whatever, up in the air spinning. That's what they did. It looked fun. They all had fun. Fun was had by all. They were laughing and having a little good time. And they, Toya brings up her and Tommy going to counseling, and Monica said, but I feel like if I ever get into another relationship or get married again, which I hope I do get into another relationship, but I want, we would definitely do couples counseling, you know what I'm saying, before and during, so that it won't ever have to be an after. Meaning, I think had her and Shannon seeked counseling sooner, they could have, worked through some issues, and they wouldn't have to been, after after things are over. So she's like, I just know now that I want to actively have counseling, to make sure that the relationship stays healthy. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's smart. Then was Zanique. So Zanique is with Tiny and whoever else looking at venues for a little party, whatever. Then we see T.I. is out with his friend and Messiah, okay? Now, Zanique is, I don't want to be in a big party. I want to be like 30 people or less. You know what I'm saying? I want it small and intimate, so I can get a real feel for, the crowd. And they can get a real feel for my music. Tiny's like, well, I think it should be a lot of people. We got a big family. Everybody can come get the word out, blah, 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 blah. You can see there's 2 different opinions. Okay, 2 different opinions or whatever. So Zanique, I don't want to be like the last one. The last one was like a party. I don't want this to be like a party. I want it to be an intimate setting for just my music. Who like the party? Who? I'm like, Tiny, this ain't about no party, girl, okay? I know I'm pushy, but I want the best for her as her mother. Okay. Now, T.I., who was out with his friend and Messiah, he brings up how I feel like Tiny is trying to make Zanique another Tiny, and Zanique isn't Tiny. I say she isn't. She completely isn't. He said, but Zanique never really listens to me. If I had Tiny is my mom and T.I. is my dad, I will listen to T.I. only because I feel like Tiny handles Zanique as a mother and not as a musical manager business thing. I think it's a difference. It takes a special kind of person to be a momager or dadager or whatever. Meaning you are a mom and or dad, but you're still running things like it's a business. You know what I'm saying? And you want the best for them artist wise. I do feel like Tiny handles Zanique like she's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and I feel like the advice or the things that T.I. said to me made sense artist wise. Okay. He see him saying, again, Tiny wants to make Zanique hurt. I believe that. Okay. Tiny thinks she is still, when does Escape come out? Whenever Escape came out, she thinks of that time frame. Okay. He said, I even gave Zanique a song. I wrote her a song or had a song that would have been perfect for her voice. But she ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't do it because she don't listen to me. She listen to Tiny. And I feel like, the stuff that she's put out doesn't get pushed right. You know what I'm saying? He we like her music or whatever, it's fine. But it's not fully her yet. You know what I'm saying? And so she not getting pushed right. And which is true. If you put out a song that's kind of okay, and it's a song that your mama like, because your mama like a certain kind of music, and your mama can't see that ain't what you should do because she's your mama. And your mama like what she like. And, you putting out what she like and not what you like. And that's why you ain't with it. Look, that girl been doing music since them OMG girl days. And she has never really popped. And it's because it's Tiny who's managing her. Or who has been helping manage her. Yep, I said it. Anyway, so we do see, they had that or whatever. But, again, we'll see. So the listening party, whatever, it was a lot of people. A lot of people. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was a lot of people, whatever. And she ends up playing 3 songs for the people there. And they have, like a paper to fill out, what their feelings for each song. So, Messiah say how, you can tell how she's growing into her voice, and it's hard not to love her music as she, to become her own person. I do feel like even with the snippets they played, it was a difference than the music she's done before. I never would even remember what it sounds like. I'm like, I want to go on Tidal or wherever it's at and hear these songs. The one slow song that she did sounded amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because you could hear her voice. I don't mind a slow song. I like a slow song. You know what I'm saying? A slow song can be just as much as a bop as a fast bop or whatever, but I digress. So, Monica brings up how I'm just proud, you know what I'm saying, to be watching her and watching the people react to her music because it is really, really good. T.I. brings about, we love our music, but it's still about capitalizing off the music and which one is the best single for her. And again, to me, T.I. is saying it ain't about me, it ain't about Tiny, but we need to make sure that she's putting out music that fits who she is and that fits her voice and not trying to make a song sound like something else from the past, okay? From the past. Anyway, Monica tells her, you need to do what you feel is right. Even if we tell you, oh, this song or that song, if you feel something different, do what works best for you, okay? Because that's what's going to help you in the long run. Like for me, when I did, people kept calling her Miss Thang or whatever, and that was the name of her album. She brought up how her mama didn't like one of her album covers, but the album cover did really, really well. So again, she said, I've always listened to my best man and not always listen to someone else tell me what I should feel. And I'm like, girl, go through that. So we do see them go through votes later on, and it was a tie between the slow song and that bop song or whatever. And I'm going to release them both and then see which one catches on the fastest or whatever and then move from there. She need new management. I'm not saying she don't need to listen to Tiny, but I mean, she can also listen to somebody else. Anyway, that was it. T.I. has said some things, doing the podcast thing with Tiny, also talking to his friend or whatever. I'm ignoring the whole thing. So I don't think you missed what T.I. was talking about church. You was missing with T.I. I ain't going there because the Lord is my Savior all up and through. Okay. Anyway, until next time, do not forget to like, comment, and share the video. to subscribe. Yeah, and subscribe too. Follow me on IG and on Twitter at JLeesCorner. Until next time, peace.